This is the first book I ever wrote. It's my first ever.
Let me have it then. Let me touch it.
You might not be able to understand what it says.
I'll give
that
it a
might
go.
be the first story I ever wrote.
The first story you ever wrote.
It might be the
last really
one.
weird. It's kind of written upwards. The Man That Could Fly. Is that right?
Yeah,
That's what it's called. That's what it's called. But The Man That Could Fly. Once upon a time, there was a man and he could fly with armbands.
On.
So, no, armbands and. It doesn't say on.
On,
Oh, is it on? Yeah, okay.
No.
Right, I'll put the punctuation in. Once upon a time, there was a man and he could fly with armbands. And one day, he flew to Australia. And another day, he flew to a desert. And another day, he flew to... turn the page. He flew to Paris. And another day, he was walking.
Couldn't go.
He was walking, couldn't go away, and on that day he flew to the
Another
sun.
day he flew to the sun.
No, on another day he flew to the sun, but he got burnt up to pieces. The end. Yeah, you see, so that's quite interesting.
That's my first. I was 28 years old when I wrote that. That was my first.
How old
ever.
were you? Do you think?
I'd have been about 6, I think.
Right. Okay.
Maybe
So
7.
that's brilliant. You see, what that is basically it's your take on the Icarus myth, but Icarus doing a bit of travelling before he goes to the sun. So I mean,
with armbands.
So
on.
use armbands, which normally would help you float in the sea, but they help you float in the
the power
air.
of my imagination.
Yeah, that's good. You see, it's quite surreal. And what it is, it's showing that before he flew to the sun to meet his doom and be burnt to pieces, he actually did some travelling and actually, made the most out of his wings.
He went to Paris.
Out of his armbands. He went
Yeah,
to Paris. He went to the desert.
It's nice.
Yeah, and Australia. So that's good. So you were kind of thinking ahead to when you were a kind of globe-trotting comedian. Right, okay, this sounds pretty gloomy.
Yeah.
No, you listen to it. Don't look over my shoulder. This is called The Man Who Was Never Born.
Someone else has written the title.
This sounds like a kind of anti-abortion thing. Well, let's see how it goes. Once upon a time... That's okay, because every story starts like that. Once upon a time, there was a man who was never born. And nobody saw him. This is just existential. Nobody saw him because he was not born. And he ate food from people. The end. That's brilliant. So he ate food while he was in the womb, and he was never born. That's really amazing. I like it. It's good. Right. This one's called Tarzan. Let's see how this one goes. Once Tarzan was walking in the jungle, and he saw a lion, and the lion jumped on Tarzan, and Tarzan started to fight with the lion, and he killed the lion. The end. That's good. There's a picture of it. Look, there's a picture of the lion and Tarzan fighting. Right. 2. This is part 2, Tarzan. Another day, Tarzan saw a man on the land, and Tarzan killed the man with a knife. The end. What I like about that is that there's no kind of context. He's just a man on the land. You've got to assume that he shouldn't be on the land, so that's okay. Right, part 3. This is a trilogy, I think. This is the last Tarzan story. Right, Tarzan, part 3. So this is a threequel. Another day, Tarzan saw a nice lady with a lion, and the lady was blind. No, let's go for it.
Yeah.
With a lion, and the lady was blind, and she fell in a trap, and Tarzan took her out of the trap. And the lady said, "Thank you." End of number 3. There you go. You see, so he's kind in the end.
Yeah.
The plant
Doesn't kill blind women when they go on the land, does he?
No, he's up for that. But she fell in a trap.
Yeah, I think Tarzan had ulterior motives.
You think, yeah.
He put a trap there to get women, and if a man came along, that must be what was going on.
Lady trap.
Well, I feel a bit sick now.
The plant that never
red wine's going to come up.
The plant that never grew. I think grew probably. The plant that never grew. Once there was a plant that never grew, and a man had planted it, and he did not know that he had it in his garden. Wow, that is really
very derivative.
No,
there's a picture of the plant that never grew.
It's just a hole in the ground.
It's a seed.
Wow.
Oh, that's all the seeds grow.
So he didn't know that he had a plant because it didn't grow. See, that is just cosmic. Right, the 4 men had a fight with the men of.
Phise, but it's the Pharisees.
Phise?
I was obsessed with the Pharisees.
Right,
and I think a lot of this book is just me drawing pictures of
the
men, of people, machine gunning each other. But this is good. This one,
right.
I haven't read this.
What is
for
Phise then? Is
the man of Pharisees. Well, I thought I couldn't. It was Pharisees, but I couldn't obviously spell it.
Okay, the 4
men
men
of
had a
Phise,
fight
because they
with the
were
men of
Jesus'
Phise.
enemies.
Right. Okay.
And I like Jesus.
The good thing about your titles is that they give you a real clue of what's going to happen in the story. So here we go. You stopped doing Once Upon a Time now.
I
You
grew
cut
up.
into the chase.
I grew up.
Once There were 4 men and a lot of men of Phise. And they had a fight, and most of the men of Phise died, and all of the men died. And they saw a lot of men, and they had a fight, and a lot of the men got killed, and the rest ran away. And they went on, and they saw some more men of Phise, and they said, "Will you join us?" And they did. And they saw a man, and he had a gun. Oh dear. And they saw a man with a gun, and all of the men of Phise got shot. And one more of the men of Phise killed the man. It's really complicated, this one. Way too complicated. Killed the man, and they went away and killed all the men they saw. Christ, it's like Quentin Tarantino. And they saw a monster. This is all right.
We should make this into a film.
The monster killed a lot of men of Phise. I gotta keep count of them, and a lot of something. And it was a difficult life for them. It was what's that? And a lot of
escape, maybe escaped.
A lot of something, and a lot escaped. Yeah, but that's it. A lot escaped, and it was a difficult life for them. It's really weird. Suddenly, you care about that. And they got too old to kill anybody else, and they all died instead. Oh, except one. Sorry, they all died. They all got too old to kill anybody, right? It must have been terrible. And they all died except for one. And he's still alive on this day. And he is being careful not to be seen. He's really worried because he's the last one. He's thinking, this could be
it. What I like is that they're Pharisees,
brilliant.
But they've got machine guns. They've got guns and stuff. I actually am going to be sick. I'm
not sure this might be too much humour after all of the moaning you've been doing. This is the funniest thing you've ever done. Right, this is Mr. Should we leave a gap and come back to it? Mr. Twiddle and the cow. One day, Mrs. Twiddle. Oh, I don't know which one it is. Oh, yeah. One day, Mrs. Twiddle asked Mr. Twiddle to go and fetch her brother's cow for her. Her Albert, my brother, is going away, she said. And I told him we would look after his cow for a day or two. Twiddles, you go and fetch it. It's quite complicated, this one, because lots of speech marks in it. You go and fetch it, and we'll keep it in the field behind the house. It will be nice to have some milk. So he went and got the cow. The end. Oh, that's it. There's no action in that one.
I think that one's copied off another story.
Really?
I think it is. I think I've heard the story and then recounted it. Whereas The Man of Phise is an original
That's
work.
An amazing story. I mean, the complicated plot. That has to be simplified so much to make it into a film. Right, the cowboys fight the Indians. Once upon a time, there were some cowboys, and they saw some Indians, and the Indians started to fight. There's a lot of violence.
It is. I like fighting.
And all the Indians got killed, and 14 cowboys got killed at the end. That's really specific, isn't it? 14 got killed. No, it's just least number get killed, you win. Right. My dad goes out. One day, my dad went to a meeting.
No,
although you've written minting, and somebody changed it. He went to a minting, and there was a thunderstorm. Yeah, and there was a thunderstorm, and the chimney. No, you put chimpty, but it's chimney. I love kids are brilliant, aren't they? Chimpty fell off our house, and the windows fell out, and the somethings came out.
The bricks.
Oh, the bricks came out, and our house had fallen down, and I ran to the caves, that would be Cheddar Caves.
Yeah, maybe.
And get Claire, her interests.
Yeah, but Claire was Loughborough. I don't think it is Cheddar. It might not be the... no, it's the Allens, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's my next door neighbours.
And get Claire, her interests to come to my party. And Dave Puttick and Simon Herrin are also coming. What has this got to do with the storm? I think my dad will be coming back soon, and I think I will
build the house.
I think I will build the house back up. And it is so little, so I have to be so little, and I will have something to build up the house. And I can see Dad coming back. You're just killing time. You're killing time until Dad comes back. And I'm putting the Funter in. What's the Funter?
The front door, maybe.
Oh, the front door in, and I can see the sun coming out, and the postman is coming, and my dad is home, And I'm going to sleep, but I have woke up and it was all a dream. The good old dream ending. That's a great gambit.
Have I told you about the
Ah.
when I was at primary school?